Welcome to this week's edition of Viewer Levels. We're going to have a submission right off the bat from Supernova. It's going to be Supernova's maker code, so we'll have to go down to the list and see what I have not played. Unless there is... Oh, the idea was you to replace the code with someone else's, except you didn't expect to be here right from the start. So, if you have a code you would like to suggest, you are welcome to do so. We're really not in a hurry, given that you're the only one who I'm waiting on at present, so go ahead, throw something in. In the meantime, I'll just go down your list. I believe I played everything here, except I did an early version of Counter of Intuition. I have not seen a revision. I'm certainly welcome to do so. Able to do so. Same with Crimson Companion. I think this was another one where I did the early version. And NSGRSRXRGNX. Welcome. And you've got 5 lifetimes, 1 love for beginners. Yeah, that's going to be second in the queue. We'll take a look at that soon enough. Going back to the older stuff in the list, yeah, Supernova, we have done it all. Yeah, Supernova, you can use the replace command. In the meantime, I'm just going to put that code in manually. And we'll see what you've got for me there. It is exclamation mark replace if you want it to display properly in the bot. There we go. Kill the music. This is by Meadow. I better turn my volume up, unless, of course, it's killing the music by silencing it, which could very well be the case. Anyway, I need to focus, apparently, on this level that was uploaded back in July. Let's see how it looks. And welcome, N. Mario. And NSG, etc. I think I'll just refer to you as NSG until I see a reason not to. No. Oh, yeah, that's actually correct. You hit that thing, you wall jump off, and then you take the POW with you. I can probably bounce on a shell on the other side. Whoop, that's too early. But yeah, you would take the shell, you would run with it, you would then jump on the shell on the other end. Nukukaza, welcome. Very short queue so far, you're certainly welcome to come along. That is a drop and then a spin. Interesting. I'll have to read that a little more accurately, perhaps. Little P Balloon goes auto today, apparently. We'll see how it looks soon enough, I'm sure, dropping it a little bit early. But yeah, it's going to be a spin jump off of that, and then a spin bounce off of the spiny shell immediately afterwards, so we can get a drop accurately. Whoops. Things should be fine, except I accidentally picked up the POW that time with a spin, so that's not so good. Let's not back out of that. I thought I was aiming for the shell. That was clearly not the case. Nope. And a bad drop once again. We'll need to figure out the drop timing and just how far ahead I need to do it. How far ahead of the spin jump. And just to land on it properly without picking it up a second time. Nope, dropping it a little too far to the left. I feel like I'm overcorrecting to the left when I should be maintaining momentum going forward. A very common mistake for me to make. That was right at the time, except that registered as a twirl because I had slipped off the end of the POW rather than jumping directly off its surface. So, just a minor correction. And then we need to maintain momentum to stay on the shell, maybe a bit of a medium bounce to get on it properly, but again, I do have a bit of a habit of controlling my jumps horizontally and backing up into them, and that's something we'll have to keep in check if we want to succeed in this creation here, which currently has a record of about 15 seconds. It doesn't seem like there's going to be too much technique involved here, but you never know. So until we have a better determination of that, let's not underestimate what's going on. And there we go. And once again, it's just a matter of maintaining momentum. This level is longer than Endgame. I don't know if you're referring to the Marvel Avengers Endgame, as you might be, Supernova, knowing what you know. Wasn't that on the order of about 3 hours? Unless, of course, we are dealing with a different endgame entirely. Like the endgame phase to a strategy game. Like the endgame to the Game 6 of the Chess World Championships last year. A game that went on to about 7 or 8 hours in length, I think. By the end of it. Chocomax, welcome. Thank you for Ludwig's Fishing Lodge. We'll hopefully go fishing before too long. Yeah, as always, we need to drop the POW a little bit later than I'm doing, because as you can see, I'm dropping it on my way up, and that's why the regrab is happening. We need to be dropping the POW on the way down, so fix that up. That seems to be one of the major technical obstacles we're dealing with here. Whoops. And we'll see how we do. Well, very high clear rate on this relative to obstacles that we're seeing. This was about a 3%. Maybe the sample is just skewed by the people who would have played it in the first place. We'll have to get a better sense of that as we... Now, I took that death because I was suddenly wondering, I wonder if there's anything else we can do on the left here. No, I think everything is built on the bottom screen only, judging by the camera movements here. So, once again, we'll just try to get that drop straightened out. And the rest of this should follow. Whoops. Yeah, it's really just the POW drop right now that's causing trouble. Most other things can be managed. We shouldn't cut too many corners, of course. Nope. Once again, slipping off the edge of the POW before the jump was registered. That was kind of a bad landing upon it in the first place. Still a lot of things to clean up with that. Well, we made it decently far on the best attempt. A big burst of progress after the POW and the spiny spins immediately after. Once again, it's just getting the hang of this drop timing. I think part of what's throwing me off is that that landing platform here is actually as high as it is. Not a lot of reaction time when it comes to figuring out where the POW will land relative to me, but oh, a little slow on a slide, unfortunately. Xeon, you finished alive. Do let me know how it was. It's something I'm kind of keeping on the back burner. Obviously, on the RPG front, I'm rather busy with Xenoblade and will be for weeks to come. And I have Triangle Strategy sitting around unplayed, in fact. I have the cartridge, I just haven't even booted it up yet, so... Very much a Super Nintendo game. And specifically, the Square-style RPG from that era. You can recommend Triangle Strategy a lot. Yeah, I remember you saying so. It sounded very much like my kind of thing. I just didn't really manage to find time for it earlier in the year. No, I've got a couple of different games hanging around waiting to be played. Some of them I might stream, some of them I might not. But for the time being on the RPG front, I expect I'll probably be on Xenoblade for about another month or so. I just finished Chapter 4 this week. Whoops. The combat stood out as rather surprising. In Live Alive or in Triangle Strategy? Which one are you talking about? Whoops. You know what it is in this landing? I think it's that I'm letting up on the jump too early again when I'm doing the drop. That's probably it. The combat stood out as rather surprising in Live Alive, I see. There we go. No, you need to throw it and then... Or maybe spin into it for the pickup. I can never remember the differences between Mario Maker 1 and 2 mechanics when it comes to spinning into the pickup. I thought you couldn't do it here. Oops. But I may be misremembering based on the blue platform mechanics. Yeah, you can pick it up and then spin with it. That's probably the idea behind the spring later on. How the game places combat encounters, the varied abilities each character has, how strong they make the characters all play into how each character's scenario feels. Well, it seems like a lot of room for variation there among all of those variables. I have a very general idea of the structure of Live Alive, but none of the specifics. And Zendo Wigo, you might want to fix your copy and paste. It looks like you might have copy and pasted a string from a previous bot. So, hopefully that gets fixed up and we'll see your actual submission come in. Okay, so that's correct. I was just a little slow on the spin. But then it's going to be spinning while holding the spring into the on-off switches. And then we'll see where to throw that afterwards. Whoops, no, not like that. And yeah, no worries, Zendo. I thought that was pretty obviously a mistake in copy and paste. Curious about Diofield Chronicle. I don't know anything about Diofield Chronicle. But yeah, it seems in many ways... I mean, I'm not up to speed with a lot of the most recent Final Fantasies and whatnot, but that mid-budget is where Square tends to have the flexibility to stay true to the formats that they defined in earlier generations, and that mid-budget is the range at which they seem to work best, but again, that's not a totally informed perspective. I'm just not up to speed on the modern state of the JRPG, Xenoblading aside. Okay, here we go. This is a rough drop here. So, we'll see what we can do with it. That seems to be still the main issue after all these attempts. There we go. No, that's a little too slow. I did need to do that on the earlier bounce in order to get an arc up to the spring that would allow me to recover in time. It's kind of a real-time with pause strategy game with people that work on Fire Emblem working on... Oh, okay, I might have heard about it in connection to that then. Way in the back of my memory, I remember hearing something involving Fire Emblem alumni. I'm aware there has been a screenshot or character leak of a forthcoming Fire Emblem that's in development already, but frankly, I hope it doesn't come too soon. I need more time to play other things, as well as to tidy up some things in Three Houses before I move on with the series. Yeah, in general, I'm very skeptical of real-time with pause. Having mainly tried with CRPGs in the past, I find that the games that I've liked that use real-time with pause tended to succeed in spite of it. I would be very curious to see, and I am aware that Knights of the Old Republic, for one thing, has had a remake that's kind of been in development trouble and has been moved from one studio to the next and so on, but I was kind of curious to see if, for a more modern audience, they would keep the original real-time with pause. I think it's very stark going back to a game like Knights of the Old Republic today, just how transparently laid out a lot of the D&D style dice rolling mechanics are. How much of it they just kind of splash in front of the player instead of hiding the systems under a different interface layer of its own. I'm not really surprised that you wouldn't see as many games commit to something like that, particularly for a mass audience nowadays, so... Whoops. Okay, we really have to fix this drop. I still don't have a good, comfortable pattern with it, despite succeeding with it a few times. It's always some mistakes like slipping off the POW, or dropping it with poor timing, or something to that effect. Okay, I don't know if I'll make it here. Let's hop over, and that's it. Baldur's Gate 3 seems to be doing that in turn-based. Interesting. I kind of suspected it would move to that, though, after the success of Divinity Original Sin 2, which I only played a bit of. I never actually got that far with my file in that game before I got distracted by something else. I do mean to return to it someday. And welcome, Barnstorm, by the way. And thank you for the GGs. So yeah, we just mostly needed to fix that POW drop. That was the main thing in this particular level. Let's mark that as a win, and thank you once again for the recommendation from Supernova. Neko Che, welcome. Thank you for exclamation excitement. We'll hopefully get to that before too long. NSG, you just said GG, so we're definitely here. Let's take a look at what you have. But yeah, Xeon, to go back to what I was saying, my playtime in Xenoblade 3 is very quickly approaching my original completion time in Xenoblade 1. And I feel much earlier in it. I am much earlier in it than I was in Xenoblade 1, and am also much less burnt out and sick of the experience in some ways. Xenoblade 1, I think I was very happy to get it done and, you know, just not dwell too much on the side content. Xenoblade X, I think, was kind of the same, and that will be the next hurdle to surpass in terms of hours played. Anyway, 5 lifetimes, 1 love for beginners. Switch blocks, smile. Clouds, smile. This is a short, easy level for beginners. It is as yet uncleared, but it's also a very new upload, so that tells me nothing. Let's see how it goes. Solasta is also a game that I don't know about at all, I don't think. Maybe if I looked it up, it would ring a bell, but I've not really been up on anything here. Reached a goal after defeating all 2 fish bones. We're going to back out at the beginning, and then we need to dodge the second firebar, so it's going to be something somewhat precise. We'll see. Yeah, I was trying to back out a little bit and then nudge to the right. It gives me the key, and then it's going to be a fairly precise movement. You can't just go straight left. I already tried that. And then if you go in, where does that take you? Okay, so you need to veer right after that. So it is very much a memorization level in some ways, because reaction time just won't really save you by itself. And yeah, Xeon, what I didn't expect was for Xenoblade 3 to almost feel like it's a bigger game than X in some ways. Or Cross, I suppose, depending on how people take it. Okay, so I was trying to jump out of that location. I think that's still doable. I don't think it's a time-sensitive element there. We do want to hang right and then jump. And then there's a block there, so we can't actually do that. We do need to continue going right, and we'll get chased by the fire bar as we go. I mean, Supernova, you do kind of have to give the semi-solid netting here some credit. There was definitely some attention paid to decoration, shall we say. You're dying of laughter? Well, it seems like the sound effect attached to Mario may well agree with you. But yeah, even though I've been far over-leveling the main content in Xenoblade 3, it seems like, you know, at a fairly regular clip, I still run into level-appropriate things to do, and unique enemies to hunt down on a map that are still going to put up quite a good fight, and places to explore. It's felt very well tuned in terms of allowing you to let loose and take things at the pace you wish. You know, Supernova, I actually know very little about Amy Schumer's output as a comedian. I know who she is, but I'm not somebody who really kind of sits down and watches sketch comedy, so I just know a lot of comedians by vague reputation, and unless they have some kind of guest starring role in something else that I'm watching. When each set of side content unlocks, says Xeon, the ideas covered, the objectives presented tend to coincide well with the feelings and ideas the main story is presenting. Yeah. Like, they don't feel like they're sidetracking you. They do feel like they are organic branches of the story that could very well have just been part of the main quest if things were organized a little differently. If your route through the map was just a little bit off course, so... And I think that's something that is quite distinct about it. Whoops. Okay, we're not going to put too many attempts into this. I do want to figure out maybe the next jump after the key door, but obviously we'll have a lot of attempts here that are going to be blown apart by this thing early. Now, we do know there are going to be blocks overhead there. I wonder if I should actually jump to the left, but I think it's actually going to be a firebar chase in the second segment. So... And then there's some kind of shenanigans here going on with the on-off switches as well that are going to gate the path of the maze. I'm going to check the creator clear time. I usually try not to look at this information too quickly, but clear check time is 6 minutes 39. First of all, look at the screen. The face on the right side, by the way, is a very nice touch. I'm glad I checked the screen specifically to uncover that. You'll notice that at the very end it looks like there's this massive pick-up pipe as well. I think that's what it is on the final screen, right? It's just this massive warp zone style pipe design. I feel like first clear on this isn't really going to happen anytime soon from anyone. But it does look like there's a kind of repetition to the pattern, doesn't it? Like, it's almost like you take the first green and you just kind of iterate over it, roughly. I mean, I don't know if that's actually the case, but there is a bit of a regularity to the way things are laid out. Or maybe I'm just staring at this too hard and trying to see, like, three-dimensional images emerge from the chaos, if you squint your eyes just right. So anyway, pixel art looks great. 5 lifetimes, 1 love for beginners. Unfortunately, I do not have 5 lifetimes today. We'll maybe give that burner a few more attempts and we'll tap out of here. Clear is obviously not going to happen. Yeah, Barnstorm, exactly like a magic eye. But it's funny because when you look at it up close, it's actually pretty... like, the layout itself is not untidy, but it's one of those things where, you know, even if I didn't have the firebar chasing me and adding a time-sensitive element, I probably wouldn't do that well with all these one-tile entrances on all of the jumps through the maze anyway. And so, you know, like, even if you had the maze solution through the level viewer or what have you, we probably wouldn't be able to do much with this. That's okay, we'll just continue to match the current clear rate of 0, and we will admit defeat in short order, so... Yeah, sorry, we couldn't get much further than that, but looks like we're going to be poking away at that burner for quite a while longer before seeing what's next. And, once again, nice pixel art. Xeon, you're saying JRPG structure reflecting the scenario and symbolism. Yeah, it seemed like they were trying to go for that to some degree with Xenoblade 2 as well. In a very different manner, of course, but I always thought the very charming thing about Xenoblade 2 was that the game is literally about the battle mechanics, and it's like the whole story is asking the question, what would it be like to live in a world that had this battle system, right? Xenoblade 3 is taking a very different approach, obviously, but I think it is also kind of taking that integrated logic to that question of how to bind the world into the game. Anyway, Little P Balloon goes auto, hold, boost, and up the D-pad recommended. We'll do it. 15 seconds. Let's see what we're in for this time from Nugukaza. And Supernova, thanks for dumping some blueberries into the queue. We could always use some. The up pipe is going to align itself neatly. Okay. Auto precision. The best kind of precision. Look at how much better we're doing in this level compared to the last one, by the way. And let's watch the moon sweep in at the end, because I bet there's... Okay, never mind. The moon doesn't do anything there. Okay. I was wondering if we would hit the moon in the finale for some kind of grand finish, but we will be denied that today. The Little P Balloon does not ascend that far. Well, thank you for that bouncy little cutscene, and nice little dessert following what happened in the previous level, as far as precise corners are concerned. Let's mark that as a win and go on. Chocomax, who just replaced that code. Let's see what this is now. Might have been fresh upload, perhaps? But we'll see. And Nugukaza, looking forward to another Cannonball concept. Ludwig's Fishing Lodge, it is a very new re-upload. Ludwig seems to have a bad fishing day. Better be careful of him. And Barnstorm, looking forward to your Metroid level. Certainly, if that Breath of the Wild series was any indication. We played a lot of Metroid levels here on the stream in the past, so... Okay, let's not lose the ability to get that. I'm sure we could have done something. Hang on, let's see. Okay, so... I'd prefer not to swim. I'd prefer to take the boat. And I think it is meant to encourage you quite strongly to take the boat. let's dunk the bomb so we don't destroy too much of the boat. And then, yeah, sometimes you can just drop the Spinies in advance to mitigate a lot of issues with them. Oh, otherwise, yeah, if you don't dunk the boat, then... dunk the bomb, rather, you run into some pretty serious issues afterwards. 50 coin, of course, will be mine. Okay, pretty relaxed experience so far. Quite nice. Let's try to get around here for the frog suit, and also check up here for what is evidently going to be a traditional style 1-up or other bonus. I don't think we can get around this corner, unfortunately. So we will continue... wait, which way? Let's see here. 50 coin. Oh yes, up pipe. Okay, looks like this is going to be a running around with a frog segment. No, a swimming around with a frog segment. I was wondering if I would get an upside down shell that I could pick up as a water skimming object, but evidently not. We'll just follow this up. And yeah, Ludwig is fishing apparently for me. I have to prove to him that I'm not a fish, I'm a frog. There's a very important difference. And of course Ludwig's going to say, haha, too bad I'm not actually a biologist. Anyway, let's try to match the water level. There isn't really much time pressure here. I think the idea is that, you know, even if the water level is way up, we're probably still fine. On-off switch is something we need to double tap. And here's a checkpoint. Now, interestingly enough, the checkpoint is going to resurface, or rather, the checkpoint is going to start above the water if you load back into this zone. Let's not boost everywhere, I'm just over-boosting past the door. Now, anyway, this zone is dry. We'll try to get some hops here and there. I think I'm supposed to try to clip Ludwig like that. That seems correct. Just need to find a good timing to do it. Now, let's see what we can do here. Nope. And Ludwig is going to fall down on the left and clearly not exercise enough aquatic safety when it comes to bringing flotation devices or anything else. Is there anything here? Yes, there is. That's what it was indicating, and that is in fact correct, so down we go. Okay, very nice. Yeah, very well decorated multi-stage fishing lodge. Yeah, in the second section I don't know functionally what's different there between the rising water and just having it be a water zone. I guess it's because the rising water is catching the spinies that are parachuting down, and you get a little more flexibility if you're near the surface, but I was slow enough that I was mainly treating that as a water zone, and perhaps I missed some kind of bonus, who knows. But anyway, thank you for that, and for offering me first clear on that version. I hope it held up well enough. And let's see what's next. Okay, Zendo, Huego. And let me just see here. This is... unfortunately, my Spanish is not that good, so somebody else will have to translate. But it is a standard speedrun, apparently. And we'll see how we do. Has a clear condition as well. And only money level. Ah, yes. Dinero, yeah, I knew that was money, but... because that's a coin. 225. And, oh, okay, so it's timed, so we have to be fairly quick about this. Now, is it at least... no, it's all 225, so we Need to be much faster than this. Okay, 63 seconds though. I'll probably run out of time here, but you know what? It makes more sense to, yeah, just wall jump up quickly and then drop in. Oh, whoops. Some of my jumping is being a little bit sluggish today. I guess we're just warming up still. Okay, let's skip anything that's not a coin and is not an immediate priority. Then, yeah. If you're big, you collect everything here much faster. Whoops, got smacked by the boom there. Thought I was going to land on him cleanly, and that was not the case, so. Hang on. My jump accuracy is still warming up, apparently. Hey, you maker. Hey, you maker. Oh. Maybe not wise to come up there first, but we managed to make it work. A lot of those jumps could have been cleaned up, I'm sure. Okay, that's fine. Okay, thanks for the coin. 47 seconds in this section. Oh, we actually do need to kill someone. There's one key. I don't know if we'll need a second one. Let's assume we don't. That might not be a safe assumption, but... Oop. Okay. I feel like losing time there is not going to be particularly wise, so we'll... Hang on. Let's, Oh yeah, because you can't actually do the crouch jump, can you, with propeller hat on. So... Anyway, we're going to run out of time, but let's see how close we are here so we can see what's going on in the rest. It isn't all 225 coin conditions, so we'll need to rethink the propeller segment there. And yeah, Xeon, that's very true. That's... On one hand, the cutscene density is very noticeable. I've learned what experience with a Xenoblade game, never to tell myself, oh, it looks like I'm nearly to the end of a big chapter or close to a big boss fight, and then I can just put away the game for the day. Because you always have to budget not only time for usually a very extravagant 10-minute boss fight or something, even if you're over-leveled, but also the 20-minute cutscene that follows afterwards. Okay, who is it that I want here? Is it this one? Nope. Losing a lot of time. And no, you actually had to pick the right one, so only one of them holds a key. And I don't have a systematic idea of which one yet. We'll have to figure that out. Obviously losing a lot more time there than we did before, and we'll have to... Okay, we want to take off from this pipe, because otherwise I don't have the height to make it up to this coin. And I cannot lose that either, so let's just scout ahead. But yeah, so jumping on top of the pipe was actually the entire solution there. A bullet there, and then we continue to the right. Yeah. We hit that with a bullet, and then we slide over on the wall then. I think that's got to be the right idea. And here we go. And whoops, there we are. I think, though, the thing that works with the Xenoblade cutscene pacing, to get back on that topic, is that the appearances of those sequences feel much more controllable in some ways, less of an interruption. If you just want to amble around the world and do your own thing for a while, you can do that. You have a lot more flexibility to do so, like you did in X to a great extent. I mean, the cutscenes are big, they're chunky, but you know roughly when they're coming. You can kind of see when the objectives are heading towards a cutscene location, and so you kind of have a decent sense of control over the rhythm of being out in the world and watching the anime sequence. Anyway, we're going to steadily refine our method in this. I think it is doable. It's just take a little bit of work, especially because without the benefit of the super mushroom, we're in a much less good a spot here. I should have actually considered going for the fire flower first on the top right, if it is progressive power up or not. If it is a fire flower, then that gives me a little more flexibility when it comes to dealing with Boom Boom on the left side. Having to chase the mushroom loses valuable time. We'll try to avoid that. Obviously, I'm trying to hit these blocks in the middle, and I'm not doing a great job of that. Just to save the number of jumps we're working with. Okay, so let's do that first, perhaps. Or we can lose that guy. But it does deal with the Magikoopa quickly, and that might be important. Now, I hope we don't have a spawning issue with the other Boom Boom. No, we shouldn't, because he's a Boom Boom, right? I believe it was the first Boom Boom that we needed. Gonna take forever on the shell form, though. Whoa, okay. That's not great. Yeah, kind of getting stuck in this location here, unfortunately. Flatliner? Or not Flatliner, Flatiner, I suppose. Totally looks like Flatliner from a distance. Thank you for our Castle Hassle. We'll hopefully not have too much of a hassle when we play it soon enough. Okay, already kind of a bad run, but it will allow me to see if the Fire Flower in the top right is indeed progressive or not. It is not progressive, it is in fact perfectly centrist. Now let's... Okay, it's the one on the right that we need to deal with here. Interesting that the Boom Booms do have collision with each other. That's something to keep in mind if we're trying to find a good pathway through here, and then we'll hopefully not have too much of a problem. Oh, no, wrong key, actually. It is the one on the left, I suppose. For some reason, I thought it was the one on the right. Okay, there we go. And Timorio, welcome. And then... perfectly citrus like him, I assume you mean from Disco Elysium. Let's see here. Yeah, tomorrow we'll hopefully raid the fort soon enough. Okay, so key on the left. Oh, actually, they do kind of swap positions, don't they? I can't really keep track of them. This Boom Boom illusion here. Yeah, because occasionally when I jump them, they do switch places. And unfortunately, when they're both in invisible form, that's a problem. We probably want to hit one at a time to keep one visible, but not too much control over that as yet. Cat, welcome. Cat, hope the grand return to streaming lately has been going well. Cat ran a really good Maker stream last week. I think it was last week. I was hanging around. Okay. Let's see. I think it's the boom on the left, but it is the boom on the left. Okay, great. It was last week, almost 10 hours long. Yeah, I think I've only gone as far as about 8 or so, and I've had some streams that felt absolutely interminable. So, that's no small feat, to be sure. I don't know if I should wall jump this segment, or... Oh, whoa, no, that's bad. And, yeah, that's going to be a failure. Should boost a little above the coin trail, I think, towards the on-off switch. Now, this sequence is pretty close to the end, though. I think if we pass the bullet sequence, we're probably fine. Yeah, it absolutely does happen. I wouldn't say we strive to beat every level. I mean, actually, Natcat, you make a pretty good job of it. But... let's see here. Yeah, let's save the flower. I feel like oh, maybe that's a bad idea. Anyway, let's keep the other boom out of range. Let's just deal with this one for the time being. Oh, the other boom's coming. Here comes the boom, as that other level said last week. Love how they bump each other in the back from time to time. Okay. 20 seconds about. This is behind my usual pace. Significantly behind, in fact, so not liking my chances here, but... oh, especially if we miss the coins like that. 15 seconds? Yeah, that's not going to happen, so let's just practice the bullet segment. Let's just skip this bit here and just practice. Okay, no, you do need to jump away. You can't just slide into it and expect that to happen. I was hoping that would work out, but apparently not. You do need to jump away from the wall, I think, and then back towards it, but we'll find that out soon enough. Now, this is one of those things that's easier when you're small, which might be the case. Let's grab the flower. Oh, okay, that's fine. We'll let that guy go. It's easier if I leave him, in fact. So, we'll just take all this. We'll gradually work our way over. Then, try to shave off some time here. Here we go. That's a pretty significant improvement on the previous attempt. Maybe not by enough, but we'll try to make it work. Nope. Oh, that's bad. We can always refresh through the pipe, I think. That should give me the power up. Depending on how it spawned in. Okay. And, yeah, timing's probably going to be too tight this time, but... whoa. I feel like I need to jump back to the platform. I don't know about that, because just hugging the wall does not work. So, something about that drop definitely needs to be fixed on my end, and even if we missed a few coins, we should go back and practice it. Anyway. Yeah, getting the first guy out of the way completely actually seems to be a very valid strategy. If you go for the Fire Flower right away, you can drag him off the platform. So Fire Flower first has a certain merit to it in that you just drag one of the Boom Booms out completely. It gives me a lot more flexibility. Then We'll see how we do. We'll drag him out. Okay. I like that approach quite a bit more. And you can even grab coins on your way over. There's the key, and that's pretty close to my entry to last time around, 35 seconds on the clock. Okay. Accuracy here is key. And like I was saying, accuracy is key. We'll lose a little bit of time there. Yeah, maybe that was not worthwhile. Nope. Wrong way. So the thwomp hits this one your first time down. So you go down, and so you refrain from hitting the on-off switch because the thwomp is going to do it in your stead. Okay. The thwomp is just kind of there to trick you out. No need to hit the second on-off switch with the bullet, unless you double activate the thwomp for some reason. We'll steadily figure this out. Okay. Whoa. That was not so good. I actually think it might even be advisable to be deliberately small in the bullet section. Just to make it through the gaps a little bit easier, but we'll consider that if we still need to make some optimizations. 32 seconds, obviously, doing the propeller flight more accurately is going to get us back on pace a little bit. Okay. But being tall helps for the wall jump segment here in terms of collecting the coins quickly, so... Nope, once again. Once again, that's being an issue. I wonder what it was I did last time. I think I did a little bit of a twirl or something. Or ground pound cancel to get through the wall as it was hugging the right side, because you can't just hold right and expect it to work out. I need to do something a little differently here. I need to find out what that something is. Deliberately being small in that section is certainly one approach. Okay, let's drag him. Nope, he's not going to go. Let's not waste time. Okay, let's go for the left boom. And we've got a coin just stuck down here. Interesting that you just clip through the booms when you damage. 30 seconds remaining, not our best. It is not like that, okay. We'll see. I'm sure I'll figure it out. Nope. Yeah, because I was trying wall jump away and then twirl and then back in. Like, but then that doesn't give you much distance. Could be ground pound cancel, it could be just being small. I'm going to try the approach of deliberately being small coming out of the boom boom segment. We'll take a hit and hope for the best. Might make some things easier. Anyway, let's drag this one down. Okay, this is going somewhat efficiently. We can just get over here right away. Oh, what did I say about taking damage? Yeah, okay. I don't know if I want to take the time to do that, though. That Does lose a fair bit of time. I feel like we need to figure it out tall. I shouldn't be hugging the wall at all, actually. I should be doing a straight drop and then hold right when I'm entering the gap. Because hugging the wall sends me through. Yeah, you just let the bullet hit, you let go, and then you hold right into the slot. Nope. Okay, something's wrong there. Some kind of nuance to the wall jump control. The wall slide, rather, that I'm not quite getting down. We'll figure out what it is. It'll just take a few attempts to get back there. And map it out properly. I haven't had too much success with that segment so far. I think I've gotten through it once. I like how smooth these early segments feel once you do get the hang of them. Two seconds, again, not the best, but 142 coins coming into this section. That's our benchmark, so we know we're not missing anything. Only 2 seconds here. No, still no. I wonder why it just sends me through directly. You would not think that, but then, you know, a lot of these tile entries in this game can be a little bit fussy that way. So yeah, we're going to skip the flower, so we only need to take 1 point of damage here. So we will deliberately take a point somewhere here. I was not expecting to do it that soon, but that's okay. We'll make this happen. 36 seconds. 35. Let's hope we have enough reach as Small Mario to grab the pink coin here. We missed. Let's practice it. Let's practice it. Let's just skip this segment. Hug right. It works a lot better when you're small. Okay, so at this point, you needed the red coin from earlier, the pink coin rather, from the propeller segment to get through this door. But that should probably be the end, and as you can see, if we just weave the propeller in that accurately, then we're fine. So we're going to go small. I think that's going to be my solution. It might not be the intended solution, but we'll take it. We'll see how we're doing at the coin count at that point. Let's drag this guy. It does take a little bit of time on this, but oh no, that's bad. That's okay. It is going to increase the coin collection time here slightly, perhaps. Okay. It's the guy in shell form here who's swapped over to the right side. Let's watch him carefully. 37 seconds, we're actually ahead of par. 142 coins, that's correct. Alright, let's watch this carefully. Now here, we need to make sure we do collect everything. Whoa, no. Let's see, how close are we? Okay, pretty close. 225 out of 225, so that's all coins accounted for. If we didn't make some of the mistakes with the bullet columns at the end, that would have been a clear, for sure. Assuming that there's not much after the pipe transition. We lost a lot of time with the bullet descent around the thwomp, because I was depending on the thwomp reactivation to get me through some of that. But we have all the information we need now to get through the level. We've seen everything worth seeing, basically. Let's save time here instead. We know we're going to be small, so we might as well not bother too much with optimizing the boom booms. Of course, I'm going to suffer the consequences for that immediately. Yeah, it takes a little bit of extra time to drag the boom boom. I don't know if it's worth it, but at the same time, we do know that we have time to spare if I play even somewhat decently. And Zendo, you're saying great job. Well, we're almost there. I know I have enough time to do it with my current method. That's an important thing to be absolutely clear about. It's good to have confirmation that my approach is somewhat sound. Okay. I'd almost forgotten to take a hit there, but that's okay. We'll do it. We'll do an accurate propeller and an accurate bullet. That should be it. That was not an accurate propeller. That's okay. We'll just... Whoa, no. Losing way too much time now. Okay, we lost a couple of valuable seconds there. We need to be perfect on bullets then. Nope, that's not perfect. Yeah, the propeller was a big slip up there. The run kind of fell apart from that point, but... Okay. Now, let's see. I'm a little behind on time in general. Let's try to make up for some of that and not spend too much time here. Okay, we'll get out of here. And did they swap? I don't know if they did. Better hit both just to be safe. Nope. That's not the key guy, and we got whacked on the right side. So they did swap when I wasn't watching. Yeah, that's the reason to drag one down, is so you avoid getting confused about their positioning, especially when they go invisible or slightly off screen. Yeah, the only thing with the bullet segment is that I'm not fond of how much worse it feels as Big Mario compared to small. Because I feel like, in general, you don't want the player to feel punished for having a power-up, but that's the only thing so far. Other than that, I think everything's been pretty straightforward to figure out. And of course, I might just be missing something control-wise when it comes to playing that segment properly. Nugukaza, you have to head out. Yeah, thank you for the little people doing it earlier, at least. And we'll hopefully see more from you soon. Good to have you around for at least one today. 31 seconds here, we're a little behind pace. But this is accurate this time, so that makes up for that. Whoa. Yeah, 3 seconds? No. This whole segment needs revision. Too much jumping around and reactivating the thwomp. Need to do it a lot cleaner. Ideally, I do not want to activate the second one of my bullet, but the thing is, with the second bullet, I'm just missing the coins in the first place. So my boost timing with the bullet hat is currently not where it needs to be in order to do any of that cleanly. Sure, we'll just bop him. Okay, drag. We'll hit him once. And then we'll hit him again. Okay. 142, that's excellent. 31 seconds, not so good, but we'll see what we can do. Okay. Starting to show a bit of movement on this. Three seconds, 2 seconds. We got to get up that pipe immediately. 0 seconds. Missing that up pipe might be a problem. Oh, it is a problem. Okay, we didn't buy nearly enough time then. I did not expect the final screen to have that much going on. So unfortunately, we need to be a lot more precise. That was kind of an unexpected twist there. I don't know what the activation mechanism will be on that, whether we need to wall jump all the way up, or if there's something that's supposed to blow up on a timer. But we clearly did not have as much time there as I thought we would. So. Now I knew I was 4 seconds down coming out of this area, because I usually get over there at about 35 or 36, ideally. I don't think I can get much faster than that if I use the boom boom dragging method. 37, excellent. 142 coins, that's correct. Yeah. That's a significant gain in time that we're going to lose almost immediately because of this nonsense down here. At 21 seconds going up the stack. This is not ideal, but we missed a few coins. That's not good. Let's see what the ending sequence is. Let's just go ahead and see it with 6 seconds remaining. So we... Don't tell me that I was supposed to get a hammer from that. Maybe I was supposed to get a hammer from that. Let's take a look at what this is. Maybe it is a hammer. It totally is a hammer. Okay, that's not good. Because that is a lot of hammer spam to get to the other side. I feel like you'd want to wall jump up if you're able to. Okay, so timer's a lot tighter than I gave it credit for then. Of course, we're losing a lot of valuable time in the propeller segment. Wait. Doing that first jump there is going to help matters somewhat. .36 once again. Getting there. Yeah, so this part needs to be perfect. Bullet part really needs to be perfected as well. I feel like with the propeller head, I'm not doing this wall jump sequence ideally. Oh, that was awful. Absolutely dreadful. Completely missed that. I have to remember there is about a half tile drop on the bullet activation. In fact, I should have remembered that very well from Lecter's bullet level in 6YMM, 5YMM last year. because that level was pretty much all about mastering that particular aspect of bullet bill movement. Whoops. And Lord Cell, welcome. Go grab a Brog or Brag. I noticed your letter selection there from the alphabet. Very carefully chosen. In tribute to the legendary actress Greta Garbo. And, okay, we'll hop up here. Oh, didn't manage to drop him. That's okay. We'll just have to go for it. Time's wasting. Yeah, I feel like the time spent on the Boom Boom Drag may have to be cut, just given how much time trouble I'm in now in the later sections. But he does pose a pretty significant threat if I don't get rid of him, so... But I feel like the time sacrifice of about 2 or 3 seconds is no longer viable. So we need to adjust our strategy just a little bit. Probably run into a lot of trouble on the way, but... It's still the bullet hat segment that's ending a lot of runs, so we need to just be aware of that. Okay. The one on the right that we want now. Now, when they go invisible, I can't quite see who to hit, and that was the one with the key. Okay. And that's still only about 37 seconds, so we didn't end up saving time. Because with the drag method, I can still get to the warp box at 37. If I'm fairly accurate. Okay. Drag him out. Whoa. Palmfire, I do not mind testing a level for you, but you'll need to add your level to the queue. It's currently a little bit deep, so it might be a bit of a wait, but I do try to play levels by everybody who successfully adds their level to the queue and stays to see it played, so 32 seconds in a section, that's just a little too slow. Yeah, it might be a little while before we get to you, but I'd be happy to test something. Okay. Oh, no, 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 I missed some coins. Okay. That's okay. Let's see how long it takes. I wasn't... Maybe I am supposed to have the bullet hat in this segment, or maybe not, because... Oh, I see. Okay, so... Yeah, that's going to take way too long, unfortunately. You need to buy significant time for the ending sequence, because the hammer is such a laggy piece of machinery. Okay, so I might not be able to complete this given how far behind I am on the clock in the last section. I feel pretty comfortable having collected 225 coins on a number of occasions, but... So we may bail out of this one soon, because I feel like significant improvements need to be made for me to have a shot at the clear. But we'll see if we can get in a good solid run somewhere. And we'll just pop both the Boom Booms if we can. Grab some coins in the meantime. Oh, whoa. The Invisible Boom is going to have a word with me about that. Hang on. Let's just start this one over. Current record is 115. So, given that 80 seconds is 120, it should be clearable with 5 seconds to spare. Yeah, I feel like we really do kind of need to hit these question blocks cleanly with as few jumps as possible. That's also another spot for optimization that we're not quite getting. Oh, oh no.
Oh no!
Once again, sniped by the Invisiboom. Okay, this did not go well. Too many whiffed jumps everywhere. Okay, let's go to this side right away to pull this guy. Whoop. And we'll wait for the boom. Getting a little too long. I think we're going to be in the low 30s this time entering the door. 33. Not great. Again, 37 was my target on the clock. Again, clean run through the bullet segment can solve a lot of problems if we can just hit the coins accurately. Oh no, I'm still big, okay. Forgot about that. Yeah, it's not really doable big, that's the issue. At least I'm missing whatever method is required to keep the Super Mushroom or the Fire Flower and still have a reasonable, decent time in that area. We really need to be doubling up on these question blocks as much as possible, but I'm just missing every time. Okay, down we go. And we'll just drag him over as close as we can. Almost deliberate damage. Whoa, miss. You know what? We're going to go to simulate the experience of collecting all of those coins successfully. We're going to miss 2 coins along the way, but that's okay. I just want to check out what my timing is going to be like on this. 8 seconds remaining on hammer, so let's see timing-wise if I can do this area with 5 seconds remaining. It's gonna be tough. No, not even close. And we missed 3 coins in that run. Yeah, you need about double the time on that. You need about 10 seconds remaining in the finish, so I think we'll bail for now. I think it's still going to require significant improvements. There are a couple of places that are natural places to do that. Clear check time was actually just under the bar. Obviously, with the hammer segment at the very beginning, I wanted to double up on all of the question blocks. I think that's probably necessary for a good attempt. The part where I dragged the Boom Boom off can probably be shaved, but then I'd need to be absolutely accurate with hitting the correct Boom Boom on the way over. And of course, after that, it's just a matter of accuracy. The bullet, you can actually hit every switch if you're small, and you can make it through pretty cleanly. But yeah, it looks like we need probably 8 to 10 seconds at the finish to have a good time with the hammer. So, we'll bail for now. Mark that as a loss, and thank you for that once again. We worked at it, just didn't quite get it. Supernova, once again, with another suggestion in the queue. Let's take a look at what that's going to be, if Supernova would like to check in. And that's the list after that. And if Supernova's gone AFK or something, he's in the chat list, but if Supernova's AFK, we'll do Barnstorm's Metroid level first. It's a series, okay. Let's take a look. Blueberries for Aldwolf. 1 checkpoint. It's by Big Red Boy. Looks like it's actually on the higher range of clear rates from Big Red Boy, some of whose levels I've played in the past, but whose Kaizo stuff is occasionally a little out of my range. I've had a pretty good time with his levels before in the past, though, so. And Big Red Boy was also the curator of this year's GDQ Relay levels, also a contributor to that series himself. No, we wanted a high bounce off of that guy, and then a short bounce, not a short bounce, rather, we wanted a low bounce on the way back. We go like this, hit this, then we go and grab the Yoshi. I feel like we might have wanted to keep that. No, we didn't. Yeah, short bounce on the first one for sure, though, because we want to save as much time as possible relative to the auto-scroll. Do we want that snowball? No. We've got a second one here anyway. Why do I do that? I can just spin on that. Spin on that, slide down, and then Yoshi gets ejected out the other side. Oh, I see. So yeah, because you can see from the Pokies here that due to the auto-scroll, which is actually a horizontal custom scroll with a locked y-axis position, there's stuff going on in the lower level as a safety net for the enemies, but which is out of range for Mario to land safely. So it's a couple tiles under the screen. You'll have a platform that I can't reach safely, but which the Pokies are sitting on, and which will also allow Yoshi to be ejected out the other side. Because I'm pretty sure that is the same Yoshi. And we're a little slow here. We needed to ride that snowball across in order to get past all of the boos, so that's okay. We're steadily piecing this together. Oh no, we need to kick it. Maybe you don't. Maybe I could have just hopped onto Yoshi again on the right side and then... Well, we'll see. I feel like I'm still sorting out what to do with the big snowball. Shouldn't be too hard to manage that, though. Okay. On to the right side. I feel like we need to follow that over while the Pokey is being bounced upward by the snowball. Yeah, no, I roughly knew that was what was going to happen, but I didn't quite react to that quickly enough to... Whoops. Make quick work of that. So, now that time that was an accidental death. I was expecting to spin onto the snowball, but I just kind of slid into it a little too quickly, and we had an accidental pickup, which unfortunately does slow me down a little too much to deal with the auto-scroll. But yeah, if we're quick about reacting to the big snowball positions and we kick them in the right directions, we are in much better shape all around. Let's grab a snowball off the Pokey head, because that's just how Yoshi's digestive tract is going to work. Whoops. At least the slide a little too early. But yeah, we bounce on a big snowball across, and then she'll see. Okay. Drop Yoshi. Whoops, no, that was supposed to be a spin. I knew that. We did that accurately the first time through. Not so accurately this time. Sometimes it's just a matter of the fingers having already moved by the time the mind reacts. Okay. Then down we go. Oh, yeah, okay, so I got pushed past a door. I was supposed to get on a door in that level, I just didn't react to that quickly enough to be on the top level. So that's okay, we know what's going on now. Cat, thanks for the suggestion of find a safe piranha plant. Looking forward to that, whatever it is. Oh, nope. Once again, accidental slide into that snowball. We'll see how we're doing for the queue after this level. Because we may close it in a level or two, depending on how long it takes me to clear this one. Just to make sure we have time to get through everybody who has submitted so far. Whoops. The one-way panel there defends me. I should not be shy about going up against that wall. Sometimes don't see that kind of one-way panel protection very well when it's there to allow you to go up the left without worrying about hitting the spikes. Okay, push, bounce, and up. Nope, wrong way. But yeah, following the snowball over for the double hit on the pokey is the correct idea. Once we understood that sequence, it went pretty smoothly on the previous attempt, where I managed to get that far. Okay. Yeah, once again, I shouldn't be cutting that corner too closely. The important thing is to get over the hump there. I felt like I was losing a bit of time on the auto-scroll at that point because I had one or two unnecessary jumps along the way. We just need to clean up a few of those things. There was one of those unnecessary jumps, for instance. Okay, there we go. Slide. In through the door. That is a checkpoint. No, I was supposed to grab something on the left and then shoot it to the right. I did not look at that accurately. That is supposed to be a spin, though, for sure. But the second spin ejects a snowball from the pokey head that Yoshi needs to grab from the left. Now, why would I be spinning it in that location? Wouldn't the objective be to hit the on-off switch? Let's think about that. You can see why there's a checkpoint here, not only because it's the beginning of this section, but because this thing here takes a little bit more reading, perhaps. I feel like I needed to devour that a second time with Yoshi as I went up top and then pop the on-off, but then... Let's read that a little more accurately. There's quite a lot going on here. Yoshi obviously does need to get up into this position. I think the idea is that you can't avoid taking damage while riding Yoshi, so you do need to let him go and then grab him a second time. But yeah, you need to grab him before the end and then hit the on-off switch, so I'm a little bit behind pace on that. But we'll jump over here, should do the trick. That 10 coin, though, makes me wonder. I feel like if I lose Yoshi, I am supposed to grab him a second time, but I'm not exactly sure where that's going to happen. Because I can't quite catch up to him. Currently. I can't quite catch up to him because I'm actually losing time on a bit of acceleration on the ice when I should be jumping over to the 10 coin. But then I'm hitting the muncher when I do that. I think the idea is that if I take damage with Yoshi, do I just jump off Yoshi? No. No, I definitely take damage with Yoshi, but then how do I go over? Nope, no snowball that time. Although I did manage to catch Yoshi, so that's an improvement. So whatever I'm doing with the timing is slightly improved, but the spit is not going. Spit is supposed to roll the snowball across the central platform. Yeah, you're supposed to get on Yoshi, grab the snowball, spit. Now, how do I improve my time on that? There's a bit of deceleration from the ice that I'm contending with right now. The 10 coin is strongly suggesting that I jump in that area instead of continue to run, except the munchers are kind of in the way when I do that, so... Don't quite know what's going on there yet. Again, might just be the way I'm holding my jump when I'm also doing a spit at the same time. That's something that I know is kind of a mechanical difference between me and people who are regular Kaizo players, for instance, that the muscle memory for jumping with object handling is a little bit different. Notice that if you drop the platform on the right, that is what makes the platform on the left available once you drop out the munchers, or is it? Let's see. Let's take a look at that again. Still have a massive reading error here. Why would I want to drop that middle platform by running across? Still committing a massive reading error here. That's the thing. So you can run across and try to get over to Yoshi, but I'm a little slow for that still. And a 10 coin is still a total mystery. The 10 coin should be telling me to jump rather than sliding over. So you'll notice that when I take a little bit of damage as Yoshi, I do a bit of a bounce to the left side of that muncher. I'm not really getting enough air out of that. Maybe the 10 coin is telling me to jump in general, that I'm not supposed to reach the 10 coin, but it's encouraging me to do so because of a few jumps. Correct for the ice deceleration that I'm clearly struggling with. Nope. Yeah, it's those munchers on top of the icicle that are obstructing me right now, and I have that little bounce. When I get dismounted from Yoshi, there's a bit of a bounce that happens. I wonder if I'm able to dismount from Yoshi as I'm taking damage here. No. I do need to take damage with Yoshi because otherwise he doesn't get in position. You take damage. Get on the right side. Maybe I am supposed to drop Yoshi up to the 10 coin. I feel like I'm misreading this segment completely. Got that money, welcome. And yeah, it's going well. I haven't been able to stream that often lately. But we still try to get viewer levels in on at least a weekly basis. I had to cancel a lot of streams over the summer. And Barnstorm, you're wondering this as well, yeah. Because if I drop Yoshi early enough... Well, I clearly have to spit with him. So what if I drop Yoshi completely and then take the snowball and just carry the snowball to the on-off switch? I should be able to do that. Yeah, maybe I just drop Yoshi completely. I shouldn't be thinking about taking damage with Yoshi and carrying him forward. And I feel like the 10 coin encouraging me to go over is specifically set up to encourage that. You see, I'm very close to grabbing it there as long as I get off the platform right away before I drop onto the munchers. I feel like we can do it that way with a few adjustments, so we are going to try it that way. There we go. That's correct, finally. Now, on switch over there, we're going to have to figure that one out. Okay, there we go. On switch over there is something that's going to... yeah, I need to dismount Yoshi, actually. I need to trust that if Yoshi has a snowball that is unaccounted for as yet, that he's going to be loaded onto a future segment, because that's the whole point of this level, is that Yoshi's dropping off screen onto something like a conveyor and getting carted forward to a twister. It might be a conveyor, it might be some kind of other auto-scroll push, but probably conveyor. Oh, whoops, missed that. Yeah, you jump back and forth, you hit the on-off switch, you grab Yoshi, you run over, and then it's a dismount to get to the high on-off switch later, which then gives me a blue platform, blue state block platform to proceed and probably reunite with Yoshi and a snowball shortly afterwards. Nope, hang on. Nudging that a little too close to the boo for comfort. But I feel like we're at least fine in terms of reading this area now. Nope, too close still. Yeah, I've managed to figure out what to do, which is important. Oh, no. And yeah, because of the Muncher plus platform overlap, you go to the right side first and then to the center when you're not riding Yoshi, and also not in an invincible state. Nope. Once again, still landing too far to the left there, out of an abundance of caution. Landing relatively on top of the snowball is fine, it's just going to grab it. Ah. As I was saying. Now it's way too far. Okay, that's okay, it will. Grab this. Okay, there we go. Nope, that was definitely a spin. I noticed that when I was already in midair. Pretty readable from there, though. Okay, much better positioning this time. Now, how did I wind up going that high on that jump? That's not what I expected. I feel like that was kind of a momentum control thing, that if I went left to right cleanly on the bottom snowball, that would have been avoided. Oops, going a bit low now. Anyway. Let's grab this and go. And yeah, Yoshi's definitely controlled by a state switch down there. Oh, no, missed that. That was clearly something that I'm supposed to toss into this area, probably a shell. Get through, then you grab Yoshi, and that's almost a goal. Yeah, you spit a snowball from there, Yoshi jumps on top of the snowball, you jump off Yoshi, you make it to the goal. Okay, pretty manageable from there. after this level, I'm going to look at the clear rate of the next one, and I'll determine how soon we'll close the queue. We might close after this one today, just to make sure I'm able to get through everyone. Oh, whoops. Spin. But anyway, we've read this entire segment, though. It's very clear what to do. I missed a question block earlier on the spin jumps over to this series of 3 snowballs at the end, but that's really the main correction to make. We're mostly fine otherwise. Yeah, snowball, of course. And no one-way panel to save me this time. After talking earlier about how I should notice when one-way panels are there to rescue me from spikes that are set up like that, we got a bit complacent almost immediately. Whoops. Anyway, just that final jump to work out then. And we should be through. Yeah, really just a massive reading error on my part in this area here. The 10 coin should have been a major clue. As well as the munchers over the icicles being just inconvenient enough to prevent alternatives. But once we got that sorted out, it seems like this came together pretty well. Or it will be coming together pretty well once we sort out 1 or 2 technical mistakes near the end. Okay. Anyway. Drop in, and we're done. Okay, Barnstorm, looking forward to what you sent me today, and thank you once again, Supernova, for the recommendation of this slightly older level by Big Red Boy, whom we've featured here many times before. The level has a big map, so no worries if I need to cut it short. Yeah, that's fine. It's a Metroid level. It's supposed to have a big map. I think we will probably close the queue, though, if that's the case. So this will be the last call for anybody who wants to submit. That includes anybody who wants to give me recommendation codes as well, or just reserve your place in the queue for some kind of code replacement later. So I'll give you folks just a minute here before I close it up officially. And in the meantime, it's going to be Metroid 10 Ancient Ruins, enter Lower Norfair to get the Screw Attack and destroy the Draconic Ridley. So is this a part of... This is from 2022. It looks like it's the latest part of an ongoing Metroid project, isn't it? Because, yeah, we'll definitely do this level for you today because you want it urgently playtested. But at some point when you're finished with a series at Barnstorm, do let me know because we will definitely run the series if the experience with the Breath of the Wild series was any indication. Yeah, part 10 in a Super Metroid series. Excellent. Sounds great. Okay, at this point we are going to close the queue. If we manage to get through everybody faster than expected today, we might reopen later for latecomers. But for now, I do want to make sure I budget enough time for a Metroid maze. Give me one moment while I update the stream title accordingly. And yeah, everybody who's currently in the list, if you are online at the time that your level is called, you will be played, so no worries about staying. I try not to cut off the stream early. Enter Lower Norfair. Yeah, let's do it. We've seen a lot of different takes on Super Metroid in Mario Maker before. It'll be interesting to see how this one fits in. Anyway, pipe down here. And of course, since it's a playtest, we won't be shy about breaking stuff if the opportunity arises. Down to lift we go. And Link is going to be Samus's understudy for this performance. And of course it's going to load in the appropriate music. Somehow it's just not Metroid without that. Notice too that these areas here can be bombed. There's probably no advantage of doing so because those are just platforms, but you never know, might find a missile expansion or something. Nope, no such luck. Notice this blaster, that looks like it's eventually going to be some kind of state switch trigger, probably. And yeah, Hey You Maker, the lower Norfair music. A simple loop, but very effective. And as expected, it is going to be drop. Oh, let's not stand in the fire. That's a bad idea, usually. I don't know why I'm breaking the ceiling down there, but as I can. Yeah, nothing really to check up here, I don't think. We'll just reasonably thorough. I think when I have Metroid on the brain, I just check every tile, even though obviously we're not going to be hiding hidden expansions here in Mario Maker. Or if this were Metroid 1, farming this little area until we get up to 99 health again. The initial 30. Okay. Oh, no, we'll just go that way. That's a much better shot. In fact, it's even indicated by this area to stand right here. For those of us who can't aim. Oh, it's these guys who... I can never remember the names of anything in Metroid, but I know who these are meant to represent. The ones that kind of stick their faces out at you. And it's even appropriate for them to be the blue mechas because it's like you're going to freeze them with the ice beam, right? Anyway. Yeah, no, we'll just jump this guy. And grab a sword, or not. That's okay, we'll just try to get back into position as quick as we can. Down the lift. Let the global music load. And the thing about this Norfair loop as well is that you can do it very cheaply, which is why you've got tons of entities left over for the enemies and the layout. As you could see in the load-in as you drop through the lift, which first of all was a very good way of kind of aesthetically doubling up between the Metroid lift and the global music loading zone. There are actually very few instruments and tracks in play to make this work. Anyway, let's move on over here. Just try to do this quickly. Whoops. No, bad idea. We will need the arrow over here, so we'll just need to get our way back to the sword, which, once again, is maybe bearing a closer resemblance to the farming up energy and missiles experience of zones like this that I mentioned earlier. Much closer to that than I expected. Anyway, let's pop the shot over here, and down we go. Oh, one-up mushroom at the very top. Oh, I suppose the one-up mushroom is supposed to act like a little bonus collectible. We are obviously going to try for it, even though it's not strictly necessary. Speaking of which... Oh, that might have been a bad idea. Okay. What? I'm gonna drop shot this guy. Or not. Yeah, I know this is very much immaterial, but we're going to take it anyway. Yeah, so I suppose you're just supposed to bomb the area on the right. Wow, getting sniped. If you wanted to get the one up, but I want to check the top left as well. And I know there's a red pipe that I'm just kind of ignoring at the bottom. I believe top left is where we do want to go, though, so... Cool. Oh, whoa, no, that's not what I wanted. Nope, just running into that guy repeatedly. Let's not do that. Much better. We'll even get him to squeeze the bomb for us. Interesting little speed method for people who are interested in doing that. Oh, that was very poorly aimed. That's okay. Yeah, just the 3 snake blocks there for the instrumentation. Very simple and effective. Anyway, let's... over here. And we'll see how much further we're going to get. I might as well just skip this and take the next sword. Oh, might as well not skip that and take the last sword. Whoa, getting a bit complacent about my invincibility frames there. I was expecting a little bit more time. Also, Netcat, I just noticed that about 10 minutes ago you tried to activate my definition bot. I don't have it up and running right now. I can get it up and running. I just didn't think about putting it up today. And I'll do that when I next have an opportunity. Anyway, let's get up here. Well, so far, perhaps. Just snipe those guys from afar. That seems more in keeping with that Metroid pellet style gameplay. Whoop, bad idea, but that's okay. We made it. Let's get rid of some of these hammers. Actually, let's get rid of some of the mechas if we can. They are too much of a nuisance. Try not to get hammered on too many occasions. Luckily, little bomb slots everywhere to assist in taking those guys out. Got hammered up top once again. Fine. Grab that one-up mushroom. And here we are. This is where we shall proceed. And oh, those totally are Chozo statues, by the way. If you look at the layout here with a donut block being its little eye. And this is where open up the basement. Okay. We can technically bomb our way across over here, but we are perhaps not going to do it that way today. It's good to know that the option is available, actually. If you wanted to go back, you could always do something like this. Bomb this accordingly, but... oh, nice way to do this with the Podoboos. Okay, let's not knock out too many my own platforms here. Diagonal shot on the other side, I think it'll be safer. Notice that you could potentially activate this on-off switch and lock yourself on the other side. Whoops. Oh no, you'd have to pull out the bomb first, then drop it, then tap with the sword. I was thinking that if you do a sword tap on the right side, then you can toggle the switch before you go through the door. I don't know if that actually is corrected at the checkpoint or not. When not on tracks in vertical, the pogo boost active very strangely. Interesting. I feel like that's something I would have seen at some point. Whoops. Hang on. Let's do that. Oh, bad idea. I handled that in just about the worst way possible. Losing the Master Sword on the way in, but thankfully this fight can be done without. Because rising lava made it would fly way up. Yeah, there's something there that is conditional on the camera position. I remember playing with that a while ago in an older level I made, but I don't exactly remember how it worked. Anyway, we're through here. And here we go. And I love how you've got the item acquisition music as well. I'm sure it's been a feature throughout this series that you've been making, but I feel like I'm supposed to bounce on something in this location. But at first it would require not a switch activation necessarily, but well, let's see. Because I'm supposed to hit that up there. I feel like I am supposed to bounce on something. Because that's the only on-off switch here that's going to allow me to get back out. So do we need a bomb within range, or... Yeah, I really felt like I was supposed to bounce on top of this and then go through, but we'll have to see what can activate that. Perhaps I need to hop over here and get within range of something. Get a little opaque. See, is there anything I can do with a statue? Like it. There are coins back there. Let's bomb, because the coins might drop, and it might drop for a vine. Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah. Coin drop mechanics are always fun. As long as they're guaranteed to work the first time. Alright, let's get back over. And this time it looks like boss has been spawn blocked away. Then we do need to toss a bomb over there. I feel like we need a state switch though in order to... Well, we can always pop this. Yeah, there we go. Super Ball. Super Ball seems to have bounced up there. Like it's supposed to activate the on-off switch if it's loaded in a certain way. Blue Blur, the levels have been pretty good. Had some fun ones so far, that's for sure. Oh, I feel like we just need to jump over and bomb the coin. Whoops. Hang on here. And toss a bomb over there while we're at it, perhaps. Oh, time's up. Didn't realize that. Okay, checkpoint. Yeah, okay, so there is a state switch that automatically toggles to off anyway. So hopefully if you load in this room while the switch is set the other way, it won't matter coming from the previous room. I think it's okay. Interestingly enough, if you bounce off, and then let's say you bounce off while you're holding a bomb, and then you bomb the block above, that does not get you through 3 tiles though, and you would lose the Master Sword, so you wouldn't actually be able to do that. To punch all the way through the top right early, I don't think. Just playing a Metroid-themed level gets me into the mindset of looking for things like sequence breaks. Which is how I play it by default anyway. Yeah, pretty satisfying to notice the coin drop here and just see what to do. Having seen many Metroid remake concepts in the past, this one does have the distinction of being one of those that really kind of makes a lot of use of the Master Sword. So, for example, using Link's Bomb to simulate some mechanics that are very much like the Morph Ball Bomb. You know what? No, we'll just shoot this. Hang on. Nope, hang on. Let's not do a diagonal shot here. Trying not to do a diagonal shot. You did leave the option if someone can get up there early somehow, like if Morton jumps high enough on a final jump, yeah. Thinking about how that might happen. Oh, you know what? You can just jump this. Why don't we just do things the easy way? Because it never happens. Yeah, I like how even though there's only so much you can do with optional collectibles, and most of them will not have any kind of direct mechanical impact, that you still manage to, whoops, weave them in as little bonuses here and there through Metroid fashion. That pink coin activates CP2. Yes, yes. I saw that upon entering that room, in fact. Yeah, because it just gives you the key immediately, and coin 1 would no longer be accessible, would it? Because of the state switch here, yes. But yeah, whenever I see that kind of forced pink coin before checkpoint, I'm on the lookout for checkpoint setups like that, and it seems to work pretty well here. Yeah, because here, as you bounce up for the first time, it's collecting the coin before checkpoint. And so when you have the key, that drops you in here. Entity limiter is released for the coin to be automatically obtained, and to also have the correct state switch. for Morton to be blocked. And to get everything here, so... Yeah, because normally, when it's the first checkpoint, you come in with the off state automatically activated. Whoop. Okay, let's actually play this out this time. Without dawdling too much. We totally could have bounced up to the upper level in some of those and skipped some of the escape sequence. Spending too much time just looking at things there instead of just playing the level and outrunning the lava. Deciding whether to save or kill the hammers. Also, I'm often forgetting that the Shelmet is as good defensively as it is. You know, as a Shelmet rather than just any old power-up that happens to break stuff. Do I get a... Oh, whoops. That was the ending, wasn't it? I was fussing around looking for ways to kill everything there. Getting a bomb within piranha range, perhaps. That's okay. Pretty easy to get back there. Chai tea latte, welcome. Seen the secret scroll break previously, so we'll just skip it this time. Outpace a few things. Do this a little more cleanly than I did before. See, not really a big deal. Whoops. Now I don't think these are actually within bomb range because the 2-tile range on the bombs is pretty strict. Yeah, didn't think so. Musical finish. Yep. That's right. Oh. Yeah, we just bombed this, I guess. And drop in on the other side. Once we're past the burners. And here we are. Getting quite close to the lair at this point. Yeah, we'll just punch these guys from below. It's amazing how appropriate their movement patterns are to the original winged Metroid enemy. His name escapes me at this moment. And you've got all of the beaky little statues here, of course, because we're sending to Ridley's part of town. Technically a keep Shelmet bonus, I see. I do see what you mean. And, oh hey, we've got a coin. And here's... Oh yeah, this whole lift segment, this is a thing... caused me no end of trouble in Metroid originally, too. In Super Metroid, rather. Whoops! Speaking of keep Shelmet bonuses. Totally flubbed that already. I have to remember that we can, in fact... First of all, grab everything again. And secondly, get on top of the semi-solids over to spikes. It always throws me off because, again, switching back between Maker 1 and 2 sometimes really does throw a wrench into one's plans to do that. Whoops. Yeah. Yeah, the last time I played Super Metroid, I was kind of stuck on the lifts for embarrassingly long, considering what a simple thing they are. I replayed all of 2D Metroid before Dread came out last year. Was it only last year? Yes, it was. The Dread has been around for a while for some reason. Probably because I played it through multiple times. I usually don't do that many Metroid playthroughs that quickly after release. I'm not a speedrunner at all, but I did enjoy getting my Dread time down to about 3 hours. Which is pretty respectable for someone proceeding about it casually. Whoops. Bad move. Anyway, up we go. Supernova not able to stay, that's too bad. It's okay. Thanks for suggesting a few levels earlier in the stream regardless. We're going by. And yeah, it's a good idea to get some sleep from time to time. I'm one to talk, obviously, but... Speaking of which, what happens if you bomb this stuff? That's still over the bridge, right? It's gotta be, yeah. And yeah, see you around, Supernova. Anyway, let's not make quite as much of a fiasco out of the lift segment this time. Let's just go straight for the Shelmet and bump these guys for a bit. Ow, ow, ow. Very spiky. Yeah, we'll just have them camp on top of me for a little while. That works. And look at those coins indicating to me where to stand and everything. We don't follow instructions well. Oh, yeah. Same issue, just nudging them from the side once again. Oh, okay. It's okay, we survived. We don't really need extra life. It's a great shot right there. Very satisfied with that. Oop. Yeah, sleeping early. Who does that, Netcat? Who does that? Okay. Oh. Bad idea. Freezing myself into the shot there. That was a totally needless reset. That's okay. This means we can make another run at trying to survive with the Shelmet. Which will not happen. And yeah, in principle, I like the idea of a survive with the Shelmet bonus here at the end. If that's the way the player will approach it. And we'll just wait here until we can bomb our way through, pretending once again that we're the Morph Ball bomb. Except without the bomb jumping, of course. We don't really need to spend a lot of time on these guys, but I know it's better if we do. Instead of having them float around everywhere. And this is a pretty reasonable way to do it. Just trap them. And that gets rid of that. Let's be a little more careful this time. Instead of running directly into every spike. Nope. Yeah, going around that corner is the thing that's getting me into trouble here. Yeah, even just going off the ledge, in fact, and holding right into it. It's giving me a surprising number of issues with that collision. That's why I'm not a precision player. Okay. Nope, once again, he has the high ground. Well, we've had a couple of close calls there. You'd think we'd be through something that trivial by now, but mistakes really do add up. Oh. Nope, backing into that a little too much. That's okay, we'll be back there in no time. Yeah, I've got to outrun the hammers to some extent. Yeah, that's clean. Gives me plenty of time, in fact. And then we will come here with the helmet for once. Very rare occurrence. Although we'll need to build the helmet yet again when we have the descending lifts that have been giving me so much unexpected trouble. Might as well drop that, and then... Okay. And we'll have a nice open space here for me to poke them indefinitely. Now we've got to be extra careful around here. Let's not just slip off the platform and take damage absolutely everywhere. Okay, yeah. I don't know why it was giving me so many issues before. Yeah, no, there we go again. Aegis Cook, welcome. Hope the recent Zelda levels have continued to do well. Doing a little bit of Metroid here, as you can hopefully tell. Oh, we should have gotten the 50 coin. This is totally going to get me into trouble, but we're doing it. Notice, too, that conceivably I could bomb the hard blocks up above. We can't really do anything about that, though. We can't get up there any meaningful fashion, so... Okay, we trust the bridges. And we pretend that we poke the door in the eye. And here's Ludwig as Ridley. I guess it's just going to be a lot of arrows here. If I'm not mistaken, there's going to be an arrow fight. Unless we can find a way to get upstairs a little higher, which I don't see. Shelmet here is a pretty big bonus, of course. We're just giving that straight away. So let's find an opportune place to dodge bullets. You know what? We've got a helmet. Why am I shuffling around so much? We can just... because I do need the extra height, I think. Probably could. Some bombardment as well. Okay, we no longer have the helmet. Find that. Gonna be a long poke to death here. Get him. This shell form here, and I'm fine. Let's see. Oh, it's just gonna be bullet hell. There we go. Got him in a shell form. That gives me a state switch and allows him to do his little Ridley tail whip until such time as I bomb everything out of here. I'm gonna get within range to do something with him here. A lot of fire here, though. Okay, there's a poke. Whoa. Nope. Yeah, and it's the piranha plants up top that are ejecting all this fire. You can actually take out the piranha plants with a well-placed diagonal shot. I don't know why I didn't consider that earlier. I wonder if it was a camera placement issue that was preventing me from considering that, but... Or maybe I just didn't see where their positioning was. Oh, they were clearly visible and there for the taking. Okay, this is a good spot to stand. Not too many issues here. And if I can take out the other piranha, that would be ideal. Because we could open up a little bit more space. Currently, though, a bit difficult to find a spot to do that. Trying to find more appropriate to stand. Okay, no, just letting him do this, actually. Why didn't we just consider that in the first place? We spent so much time doing that with Boom Boom. That was the obvious thing to do. Once he got into any kind of shell form. And here's the axe, incidentally. I mean, we can just land on the axe, I suppose. So yeah, I don't think I really broke anything necessarily, so as far as the playtest goes, that seemed to go pretty well. Thank you for that, Barnstorm. Looking forward to trying the whole series at some point. And let's check who's here. Hey, you Maker, if you're still around, please check in, and we'll take a look at yours. And there you are, so. Just as a reminder to the current state of the list. That's what it is. Magic Academy, a lot of magic here. Okay, let's take the shell with me, obviously, in case we can do anything with it. Probably not, but... Oh, we can take out a Magic Koopa. That perhaps simplifies a few things. Also, I can't quite do the Twister Cling here, unfortunately, because it's pointing... yeah, we can. We can. Guess that was more there for the piranha's benefit. But anyway, we showed it off. Very nice of you to give me another Koopa. And yeah, you can see that there's the potion flask as well as the wizard hat over here. Very well defended, of course, as the potions class tends to be. Okay, we have to be pretty careful here because the Magic Koopas do try to wreck the Hogwarts Express before you can get too far with it. Now, what's this? Oh, okay, this was a bonus segment. Like, if you had the leaf, you could go over to the top right. If you had the mushroom, you could go over to the top left. We have neither, and we will be sad about it. Now, let's go up. That's kind of a nice touch. This looks like it's supposed to be a magic wand, right? Transfiguration. Oh, and here's the Twister Cling. So, good that we were prepared for that to happen. Ah, no, it's levitation. It's Wingardium Leviosa. And down we go. Yeah, I guess potions earlier was the Magic Koopa transforming everything. That makes sense. I guess this is definitely transfiguration though. Let's see. Got a checkpoint. Oh, yeah, let's see how far that dips before we do something silly like that. A couple of coins here all over the place that we haven't really had the ability to get just yet. I don't wonder about that 30 coin. Okay, whoops, nope. Kinda tripped over that when I was planning to jump. Yeah, it would be a bone shell, actually. The bone shell would get you over to the 30 coin. That's the idea. It's very clearly the bone shell, in fact. Which would also get you through a lot of other things in this segment, and possibly even get you crushed by the stumps if you're not careful. Okay, this looks like a reset to fix something. And that guy's gonna ride the chomp, alright. Wonder about this question block here, but won't get too much of a chance to do anything with it. I feel like this could potentially be broken by Magic Koopa. Let's... oh no. Oh no, it's a question block, never mind. Let's see, maybe it's a boot stomp into something dropping on a P, or something like that. Oh yeah, as you can see with the mushroom on the lower level, that is a floor under the lava. Let's get into a safe location for the twisters. And whoop. Sneak your way over. We're missing a lot of the bonus stuff here, much more than usual for me. Okay. Now, let's see. Yeah, once again, we don't have anything like a tail, so we're not going to be whipping this unless, of course, the Magic Koopa decides to give me a bit of assistance, which it may. There we go. And what shall we do here? Up and up. Okay, it looks like it's maybe supposed to be a chase, but I don't know that I'm under a lot of time pressure apart from the Magic Koopa's top and bottom demolishing everything. But wrecking this place. For the fans, yeah. Absolutely. Anyway, they're gonna try to dump cheaps on me because that's the way these guys play Mario Maker. Yeah, I don't think the Magikoopa RNG is in danger of breaking too much here. Obviously we'll get over here to grab that, just... Fun. Oh, we totally could have built up speed to fly this segment, but I don't think it would have been that helpful looking at it. Maybe you could fly a little further and just speed your way up here. And we've got Koopaling fight all the way up top. Oh, they're not really going to be accessible to me, so we're going to kill the Magikoopa here. That should give me the key on the second bot. Once we have an opportunity to stop him, being above this platform is not really going to be too helpful. Oop. There we go. Let's not die to too many projectiles from Sorcerer's Apprentices. And down we go, and yeah, that's 30 coin for... Oh, I was about to say for the leaf, but Twister will do just as well, so we'll take it. There's a lot going on with some of the ice block decorations here, and I've only read some of them as pixel art objects. There's a bit more going on, obviously. Always love this little bit with the Magikoopa and the X. It's amazing how unfamiliar that is to a lot of people. In fact, I have a Magikoopa level myself that I send around all the time that has the disappearing goal pole in the conclusion, and even people who have been streaming this game for a long time are occasionally caught off guard. Anyway, lots of fun. Lots of fun, very flavorful. I definitely stumbled all over the place when I should have been going for the optional objectives, but that's okay. We survived. Thank you for that. Hey, you maker. Alright, let's see who's still here. Flatiner. Looks like they are gone. Once again, if we have a lot of dropouts, I might reopen later on. We'll check for tomorrow next. Understandable if we have a few dropouts given how long I took some of the earlier ones. I do see tomorrow on the list, so please check in. Otherwise, we'll just bump you back one spot on the assumption that you might be AFK. After that, we'll check for Lord Cell, who I think is gone, and after that is going to be Palm Fire. So, if tomorrow is not checking in, Palm Fire is likely to be next. Just do a bit of rearrangement. Tomorrow is on the lurk list, so leave him on for now in case that situation resolves itself. We probably will have room to reopen today. I wasn't sure initially, but we'll take a look. Anyway, Palm Fire, if you're here. Great. Then you've got an untitled level for me to test, if I remember correctly. And we'll take our time with it. Let's see how it goes. Unfinished castle level, just posting to collect opinions, will be deleted shortly. Got a clear condition attached to it as well. This will be a contest entry, okay. Let me know if there are any particular conditions to the contest that I should be watching out for. Otherwise, we'll just play it and see how we do. Reached goal after defeating at least one Bowser. Oh, almost didn't see that boo there, probably because of the massive clear condition screen at the very start. Obviously, we're going to wall jump around here and check. No, nothing. That's okay. Now we know. I was hoping to salvage that for style points, but things don't always go as planned. The course needs to have a clear condition of finish the level in a Koopa car or defeat one Bowser. Okay. Yeah, because I guess if you have a Koopa car, you would have to defeat Meowser, not Bowser, and contest rules would be somewhat altered anyway. That seems to be an interesting mix of conditions. I'm kind of wondering if it just has a clever title to it or something. Or it's just some kind of inside joke for whichever community it's from. But anyway, we'll try not to get nuked by too many of these magic missiles. We'll never know if that's conditional. And you're saying no coins or decorations yet? Yeah, you know, it actually looks pretty reasonable, even just as a framework for your level initially. Okay, so one-way panels, mostly to let those guys zap you. Let's see what's on the top right as well. Looks like we're unlikely to do anything there. Not that we won't try. Let's see. I don't think my wall jump gets me enough range. No, I can't really gain height there. I don't think I can anyway. Not an NSMB expert by any means. Whoa, how did I miss that wall jump? That was kind of embarrassing. Let's get back up. And it's telling me to go down, so obviously we're going up, just to see if I can nudge my way through. Oh, whoops. Wow, shot in the face. I feel like that's possible. It's obviously not intended, but I feel like it is possible. Hang on. Oh yeah, ground pound on the on-off switch. We'll do it that way, sure. Why not? Yeah, it requires a bit more finesse than I'm showing here, but it should be doable. As long as the on-off state switches don't break anything, that's fine anyway. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have a speed route for people. Oh, that's actually pretty satisfying. If you pound all the way to the bottom, it even lands on the correct column. You're not diverted side to side the way I was. Whoa, whoa, didn't expect that. That's okay, we got him. Going to fly. To see what this segment is all about? Yeah, I guess you're probably going to complete this area somehow instead of just... Yeah, this looks like temporary stuff for sure. Finger smudges in the editor or something. I'm going to check it anyway. Yeah, saving these for later, exactly. Actually, not even necessarily finger smudges, but like maybe even just copy and paste selections for the background doodads. Which is how I do it. I haven't built a level or finished a level in a long time, but I'd usually just take some empty space and place some background doodads so I can easily copy them over as needed if I want decorated ground tiles somewhere. I suspect a lot of people do that, in fact, just for simplicity. Mitigate some of the randomness involved. Obviously, we're going to take a POW with us. I don't think the on-off state should matter for following part here. You do, in fact, need to take the POW with you because of the on-off switch. Otherwise, you'd go back here and you would have to deal with Bowser a second time. No, you don't, because he's dead. Due to the clear condition. Clear condition prevents Bowser from respawning. That's great. That means we can take that, and we'll take a second. No, we can't, because the Muncher will respawn. Never mind. Didn't think that through. Totally didn't think that through. Okay, there we go. Fine, fine, we'll do it your way. Anyway, clear condition gets satisfied pretty early here, so let's see what we can do. Womp is going to activate that. Yeah, let's go down here. I was hoping to activate this anyway, just to check this lower area. And we'll have a propeller. Now, if you lose the propeller, it's discompletable. Well, you'd have to get an on-off activation anyway. So, never mind that. I haven't seen enough of the layout here to really make a serious attempt at breaking it, but anyway, here's another Bowser in case you somehow bypassed the first one. Yeah, it looks like you need to run around and activate some things to dunk something on top of him, and then you'll get a key at the very bottom. Oh, whoops, so much for that. Let's go back up the other way. Anyway, something needs to drop on top here, probably with a P-switch activation first. And survive this. There'll be some kind of other drop on top of him. Let's see. Ah, yes, okay. Bomb, and then you do P-switch to light him up. Light him up with the collision on the bomb impact. P-blocks. That'll do some pretty heavy damage, which is good because Big Bowser will otherwise take quite some time to get whittled down slowly. Anyway. Mushroom, okay. You know what, we should go for that. He's going to do a spread fire as always. That was a little bit risky on my part. Let's grab the mushroom just as insurance. "83 seconds remaining for me here. Let's take too long. Go. Yeah. Figuring out the P-switch timing here. Take a little bit of work. Let's go for another round. Oh, nope. Well at all. There we are. "30 seconds here, at least we know there's not much room to go before we get back on the X." Yep. Well, that resolves that with plenty of time remaining. Well, that's excellent. And yeah, let's not dawdle here. Not that there's much to do. You gotta be kidding, right? Did I break it? Did I break it by running back and forth? I think I did. That's why we check. I feel like that second activation was definitely not supposed to happen, right? You can go back through the door, yeah, but I feel like you'd want a more direct failsafe for that. I know I can go back through the door and just reactivate the whole thing with the doors unlocked, but... Or I would have been able to do so were I under less time pressure. But it's a bit inelegant to require the player to do that in the event of something like that happening. I feel like there probably can be a way for that to be a little more constricted so that the scenario doesn't occur. It's one of those things where, like, the level's playable as is, you know, it's Not like you lock the player strictly, but the more of those fail-safes you have in place, the more thought out the design will look. And for the purposes of a contest entry, sometimes that stuff can be a deciding factor, in my experience. You know, just a sense that the maker has thoroughly tried to account for these possibilities. I think there may be a way to do it. I'd have to... Like, I can't map it out off the top of my head right now, but I feel like it can be done. Oops. Even just by changing where the drop location is going to happen from the last key door. You know what? Why don't I just go around? Let's go around. I'm trying to do things the short way here. Okay, if I can get up here, let me show you. Yeah, if you can wall jump up here, you can definitely skip that, and that's okay. It's not a critical skip. Doesn't break anything. Okay. Whoa, okay. Almost fell down there. Yeah, you'll have... I mean, I always try to carry objects forward if I can, but... You'll definitely have some players duck forward and go backwards. Like, duck forward, see the muncher. Double back and realize they need a power. That's okay, it's not too much of an issue. But yeah, the thing is, let's see where your doors are located. You've got the pipe over there. You've got the door spawned down below, right? You can definitely do something with this, I think. Because let's say you have the key over here. Your initial spawning location is through the pipe in this zone. And there are going to be some camera differences between entering from the pipe and entering from the door. Wherever that is. Let's do the loop first around Bowser, and I'll try to show you. Airplays, welcome. And Axer Typo coming in with 31. Hang on just a minute. Let's give a big shout out to Axer Typo coming in with the Scrabble crowd, who I understand we're putting together a song as a memory aid. I was lurking for a bit of that earlier, and that seemed like it was tons of fun. Welcome, Axer Typo and company, especially as the tournament schedule is kind of picking up again, from what I understand. And so, hoping to have lots of coverage both online and over the board when it comes to Scrabble in the coming weeks. Okay, let's drop this guy once again. Eastwich will give me a mushroom here if I'm careful. Yeah, this corner here when he does his spread fire is a little bit weird, especially if you have the mushroom, particularly because you don't know when the P block is going to drop you. And you don't want to have a situation where the P-switch deactivation drops you immediately into the fire, right? So. And yeah, Chess Bunzo, welcome as well. I hope you've been doing well on your end. Whoops. I didn't accidentally start over, did I? Or... Oh, I totally did. Okay. That's okay. No, because it's a clear condition level, you always start over. Just didn't think about that the last time I made an attempt at this. Dustin Jude, welcome. We were discussing browsers earlier, but not Bowsers. A very subtle difference. And let's see here. Only one of those routinely sets you on fire. The other one is an enemy in a Mario game. And Chess Bunzo, I probably should have switched to Scrabble Reward at some point. Now, I'm hoping to start playing some events again in the coming months, and so I might actually want to do some online prep so I can get in the habit of playing again. It's one of those things where I've kind of initially assumed I wouldn't be able to make much of a tournament schedule, and then I'm trying to rearrange things here and there to rectify that. So, might just be smaller events that don't have too much travel attached for me, but definitely eager to get some over-the-board play back in the thick of things. Anyway, down we go. Okay, we'll knock him out over here. Oh yeah, forgot the power block. We'll just go back and get that. Luckily, the clear condition keeps him dead. Very important nuance. And yeah, Chess Bunzo, that's definitely a consideration as well. That imagine that so many NWL players actually operate under North American daylight hours. Very inconvenient for some of us. Jason Lee just scored 753 against Hastybot. Yeah, I have to look up that game afterwards, for sure. Yeah, Chess Bunzo, I kind of switched between both right now anyway. I'm not really necessarily studying seriously enough for lexicon confusion to make a huge difference, but I find that even in real-world settings, I have enough Collins opponents and TWL opponents hanging around that, you know, if I give myself the flexibility to switch between the two even casually, I just wind up playing more Scrabble, which is great. And I totally understand the kind of hesitation to learn Collins among a lot of people who have been in NWL a long time. I definitely went through a long phase like that myself and kind of regretted it, because I could have gotten a lot more playing in. Anyway, let's grab this just for some extra health. Interesting that that was a conditional power-up with the Fire Flower there. I did not notice that previously. Get over here. Oh yeah, bombs are over there. We'll have probably one more cycle. Now, when we go through the key door at the end here, we're going to pay attention to where it spawns, because that might give me a solution for the playtesting issue with the Thwomp activation that we were talking about earlier. But we'll go back and we'll try to see that. Okay, there we go, actually. Good for once. So yeah, you can totally dodge some of the fireballs in the spread fire around this corner. The issue is that sometimes it might put you in an inopportune situation if it's timed poorly against a P-switch deactivation. Anyway, quite welcome to Lurk, as always, Astro Typo. I hope you had an excellent stream once again. Okay, so you drop in through this location. So notice that your camera location when dropping in here is going to be different from when you drop in from the red pipe on the left side. And so that would be the property that you try to use to have some kind of trigger that only activates for one of these entrances. To And maybe it could be something spawn blocked. Like, so for example, the first time you come through the red pipe, you could have something that is bomb activated, for instance. And if you're using a mechanism that would depend on blowing up something permanent, like hard blocks or something like that, then you would be able to guarantee that it only activates once. And then the next time you loop back in here, and of course you'd have to test that against going back into red pipe and then back in here, you would be able to have that mechanism not activate the next time you come down here. And so yeah, it's definitely doable to have a switch mechanism only operate once so you don't run into this issue here, which forces you to do the full loop if you run to the left. Because right now, if I even peek at the left side, I have that second switch activation that happens, which forces me to loop all the way back around. I feel like a lot of players are going to run into that. It is worth fixing. But you can just make it so that you have some kind of spawn prevention on the first on-off switch to the left when you come in through this door on that next loop. It's absolutely doable. You just need to kind of fuss with the camera until you get it. And because of the clear condition, Bowser stays dead anyway, so it's not too inconvenient to run back if it's really a problem to fix it. But as you can see, every time I check this, just out of habit, I'm just running into the same issue, so. So yeah, definitely worth fixing. I think it's just much too easy to trigger. Yeah, it's not a big deal to do the loop, it's just one of those things that will kind of improve the overall impression of the level, I think. Some pretty good ideas all around, though. That was definitely a lot of fun. And yeah, I think the core platforming is in pretty good shape. I don't think decoration and coins will really take that much work, given that there's already a certain cleanliness to this that you don't need to clutter up too much. It's mostly just the ending loop that might need a second look, but decent shape, I think. Let's mark that as a win. Let's see once again who's here before we proceed a little further. We might be running a pretty short session today, but we did just get a raid, so I might reopen the queue for people who have come in a little later. Okay, this is going to be second call for tomorrow before we move on. Let's see what the state of the queue is after that. So it's just Natcat's suggested level after that, so I am going to reopen briefly. Priority will go to people who have not already submitted. And I'm not going to bother changing the stream title because we can't take too much at once, I think, but we'll at least do Natcat's suggestion, and we'll see if anybody wants to tag in at some levels after that. If not, we'll just have a short stream, and that'll be fine. Oh, if not, actually, my stream's kind of set up on the wrong scene configuration right now. I should have considered finishing this and then switching to Scrabble, actually. We'll consider that. If I can set it up to actually function, because I don't have my overlays in the right view in OBS right now. But I'm going to consider that at the end of the stream, just for the benefit of the people who come in. Anyway, find a safe piranha plant. Find out which is the safe flower. Let's take a look. This is by Red Moon. We've had a couple of Red Moon levels suggested here before, I think. But not in a while. I do recognize Red Moon, though. Probably from previous suggestions. This level is short, but you can avoid a fire flower for an added challenge. Yeah, we might play it twice, who knows. Ah, yeah, oh, okay, I see. So you read one of them as the piranha plant, and one of them as divine. Nice tutorial. Oh, and it goes down, too, after a little bit. Now, this is interesting. It is quite subtle. I guess we just guessed completely wrong. So how do you tell? Vines go faster. So the fast ones are safe. Very interesting concept. Yeah, vines are safe. Right now you can kind of tell from the placements as well. And you're obviously on top of some kind of bridge or semi-solid to prevent any collision trouble from happening. Okay, so we'll avoid the fire flower, sure. Ah, I see. Because if you die, then the checkpoint offers you the fire flower as a safety net. Oh, what was that telling me? That bottom left. Oh, yes, yes. You now see some of them stacked together. Okay, let's see how we can do this. Okay, this is going to be a bit of a chase. As you can see, there's a bit of a vertical offset that we can use as our visual cue, except sometimes I'm not going to be too careful. I may actually have to run short on this stream anyway, so it's okay if this is the last one that we finish on today. And just truncate things. But we shall see. Oh, yeah, no, that's okay. We'll do it the easy way. We'll try to do it a challenging way and not zap anything. Yeah, you can definitely see it from the speed, though. Oh yeah, and you have to get in there before the cannon drops over the door. That makes sense. This is left or right. So we kind of punched through the last segment the easy way, I suppose, but we'll get in there and it'll be a big finish. Okay, that should be a GG. Oh yeah, I guess we could climb that, but we'll take it. Okay. So, thank you for that suggestion, NetCat. We may just finish early today. Yeah, like I said, in retrospect, I should have set up in advance to do a switch to Scrabble, but I didn't expect a raid or to finish this early, relative to the 4 or 5 hour sessions we usually have, but that's okay. I think it's fine to just keep this one comparatively brief, so let's mark that as a win. And we'll probably scan around to send you folks off to somewhere else. Now, I might as well take a moment to talk about plans for the coming week or so. Things are going to be pretty busy. We have Splatoon coming out near the end of next week. We also have the first batch of levels from the 7th Mario Maker Celebration 7 MMC. And I haven't determined yet which day we'll spend on that. Sometimes some levels get re-uploaded in the first few days, and it makes sense to wait a few days after launch for each of those sets. But we'll probably pick a regular day or two during the week to be running those as they come out. I don't quite know what the cadence of releases is yet, whether it's 8 a week as in the YMM projects in previous years, or if it's going to be somewhat different, just given the preponderance of levels on the way. but we'll determine that accordingly. For now, that's it for the stream. And we will find someone to send you off to very quickly. Thank you once again, Axer Typo, for bringing in the Scrabble crowd, however briefly that turned out to be. And we will see some of you folks around, both on and offline. In the meantime, thanks for watching. We'll pass you on to somebody else in just a moment. I'll determine who that is. And, oh yes, as always, have a great weekend. Happy making, happy playing, happy anything else it is you're doing, and fare thee well.